Hi, welcome back to another video in our base phone holder series. Today we're going to be working on base pin 2. And here is the blueprint for base pin 2. These are going to be the 4 pins that screw onto the bottom of your base so they can sit up in the air and you can get your phone charger cord underneath. And then this will be the final drawing video for this series, and then after this we'll go ahead and program it. But let's go ahead and get started with this drawing. I'm going to attach this PDF in the comments below and you can download it from there so that you can follow along. Okay, so to get started on this, we're going to draw it just like any other turned part or part that's going to go into CNC Lathe. So we're going to draw it from the origin, and we're going to draw half of the part heading in the positive direction. So we'll start just like we do with all these by drawing a line. Snap to the origin. This part starts out with a 3/8/16 thread. So I'm going to go ahead and draw half of 3/8, which is 0.1875, straight up. So if we zoom in, you see our line. Now the length of those threads, according to our print, are going to be 400 thousandths, 0.4. Okay, and then our next diameter is a 495 diameter. This is the pilot that's going to fit into the 1/2 inch diameter hole that you put in the back of the part. So I'm going to go ahead and create my line. 495, half of that is 0.2475. Straight up. And then I'll move it back to the 400 thousandths with the transform dynamic. Green check. Now I'm going to go ahead and just redraw this line and then delete the longer line. You can do it through trimming as well. It's just all in how you like to do it. There's multiple ways to draw these parts. So I went ahead and redraw the small line. Now I push the delete button after I selected the long line and gets rid of it. Now this next line is 150 thousandths long, and this will be the pilot. So 0.150. Oops. We'll do that. 0.150. Bringing it over. Looks good. Green check. Now, our major diameter of this part is 950 thousandths, so it's intended to be ran with 1-inch stock. So we'll go ahead and draw our line at 0.475, which is half of 950. And then transform, dynamic. We're going to go ahead and move this line back 550 thousandths. Green check, and then like before, we will redraw the line we want to keep. Green check, and then we'll select what we want to get rid of and push the delete button. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and draw the end of my part, which is going to be 1.75 over. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and draw another line that is 0.475 straight up. And then I'm going to transform this line all the way to the end of my part, minus 1.75. If I zoom out, you can see it, green check. Now I'm going to draw in my 100 thousandths lines, which is the little land on both sides of the radius. So if I draw my line at 100 thousandths, coming to the right, and then I'll draw this line 100 thousandths coming to the left. Green check. Now with these 2 points established, I can draw in this 1.25" radius. So to do that, I'm going to use my arc tool and just arc endpoints. If I select the 2 points and then I come over to the radius and I type in 1.25, it's going to give me an option of radiuses to choose from. I'm going to choose this one right here. Green check. And now you can see I have my radius in here. So we're getting close now to being done with this. I want to go ahead and add in the lead, so the chamfer lead for the threads, and then I want to add in my relief groove for my threads like we did in the previous video. So to go ahead and do that, the relief groove for this thread, 305 thousandths diameter for a 3/8/16. So we'll go ahead and draw our line at 0.305 diameter, which is 0.11525 radius. So you can see my line there is in blue. Now I'm going to transform and move that line from one side to the other. Green check. Now I'll go ahead and move that line, copy the line to the right 160 thousandths, because that is the width of our slot for our relief groove. And then we'll hit enter, and then I can change it to copy and green check that. Now we have our position for our relief groove. So I can go ahead and finish my lines. I'll green check that. I'm going to go ahead and transform, dynamic copy this line. Green check. Now all it's left to do is trim this up. I'm going to go ahead and just delete what I don't want to see. You guys could obviously use the trim buttons as well. It's however you like to do it. So there's my relief groove. Now to put in my lead on here, I like to do a 60-degree lead because of the lead in for any kind of threading. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and go over to chamfer entities. I'm gonna change my distance to 70 thousandths. We need to be distance and angle, and change my angle to 30 degrees. And then I can select my 2 entities, and there it is. Green check. And there we are. We have our thread drawn with our relief groove, our pilot diameter, and then our 1.25" radius. And then that's the drawing for this part. So look for the next video. We're going to go ahead and program this part, and then we'll be finished with this series.